Can you reprogram your unconscious mind? Sure you can. I suggest you use C++. If you don't know how to code, then that's fine. You can just find one of the 100 great coders on Fiverr. Actually, no, you can't. You're forever bound by the programming of your unconscious mind with zero control. It's easier if you just accept that you're no different to R2-D2. That can't be right. The concept of reprogramming the unconscious mind is an intriguing one. Who wouldn't want to be able to make significant changes in their lives by simply tweaking unconscious code in the mind? While the idea sounds appealing, you might not truly be able to reprogram your unconscious mind. Your unconscious is a complex and deeply integral part of your psyche, and trying to completely change it goes against the very nature of how it functions. That being said, you can certainly become aware of unconscious thoughts and influences, making you able to make conscious choices, not just repeat automatic responses and patterns, which in a way is reprogramming. So, yes or no, can you reprogram your unconscious? I'm Daniel, and with over 10 years of experience in the mental health field and a lifelong student of the unconscious mind, here's a deeper perspective. Coding the unconscious. Let's imagine for a moment that you could literally reprogram your unconscious mind as easily as changing code in a computer program. If this were possible, it would fundamentally alter the human condition. The power to choose your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors would give you control over your phobias, your depression, and even eliminate addiction just by deleting a line of code. Someone who struggles with anxiety could reprogram their mind to respond differently to triggers, reducing or even completely removing all symptoms. You could reprogram yourself for increased happiness, positive outlooks, better interpersonal skills, anything. However, you could argue that attempting to reprogram your unconscious mind would go against the natural flow of personal growth, self-discovery, and ultimately what it is to be human. Your unconscious is shaped by your experiences, both good and bad, remembered and forgotten. And these experiences mold your outlook on life, which contribute to the formation of your individuality. Inputting code to get a desired outcome is not the same as growth or self-discovery. You could even argue that if you could tamper with code in the unconscious, it is essentially severing you from your identity. It reminds me of the movie Ghost in the Shell, where the protagonist, Makoto, has her mind transferred into an artificial body. Having a highly advanced cybernetic body, she can connect her brain directly to computer systems, networks, and other cybernetic devices. Makoto's ability to download information into her mind is a key aspect of her role as a cybernetic agent. Enables her to quickly acquire new skills, access classified files, and adapt to different situations. However, she starts to feel disconnected from herself. Her own memories are unclear, and she questions if she is even human or just a series of computer code. The reality is, you've already tried to reprogram your unconscious. For example, going vegetarian or quitting smoking. Anytime you decided to stop a bad habit or start a new one was the attempt of reprogramming your unconscious. The reason why you don't see change in your life is because of a strong disconnect from your conscious and unconscious mind. Your conscious mind may want to change, but the unconscious might not be on board. It would be easier if you could just download new code into your mind like Makoto and make changes that way. Maybe you already do. Let's go deeper in that. Unconscious downloads. Changing unconscious code is one thing, but what if you were able to download more enlightened code into your own mental software? Imagine being able to take the resilience of a seasoned soldier, the creativity of a celebrated artist, or the tranquility of a Zen master and replace your own unconscious with theirs. Sounds great, right? For the purpose of personal development, it's not uncommon to metaphorically download the habits and lifestyles of people you admire, integrating certain sections of their code into your own mental software. Celebrities, successful entrepreneurs, athletes often become the code you want to download. This actually has its roots in childhood. Even from a young age, your friends and families, particularly your parents, play a crucial role in shaping your mind by downloading code into your own mental software. Children, primarily learning from imitation, often pick up on their caregivers' behaviors, beliefs, and attitudes, which form the foundational code of their developing minds. This code shapes the child's view of how to interact with the world, how to treat others, and even how to perceive themselves. In essence, children are in a constant state of unconsciously downloading their parents' code to adopt the same mindset. This, of course, changes over time when the child starts to form their own identity. However, the parent is the first role model a child encounters, and it's through their lens that a child interprets the world. But who's to say these superior minds, whether it's mum, dad, or Wim Hof, are indeed better or even beneficial? By downloading other people's unconscious, you run the risk of imposing a particular perspective on yourself, which could hinder your uniqueness from being able to express itself. You and your individuality are irreplaceable, and attempting to reprogram or remove this goes against the diversity and complexity of humanity. To be clear, I'm not saying that you should accept the negative aspects of yourself, and I'm not saying that some mental downloads aren't useful. In fact, learning from others is extremely valuable, but the aim should be to embrace the journey of self-discovery and personal growth, rather than just trying to completely reprogram yourself. There's actually a word for this, but we're going to have to go deeper. Integration. Integration, as conceptualized by Carl Jung, refers to the process of making the unconscious aspects of the psyche conscious, to recognize and accept the different aspects of yourself, including the shadow. The shadow is the part of you that you reject, deny, and hide from the world. Your shadow is often seen as the negative traits, desires, and impulses that you don't want to acknowledge within yourself. Integration is not about changing who you are, but rather accepting all parts of yourself and finding a balance between them. Essentially, embracing your own unique code and using it to create your own individual path in life. Integration will never be possible if you're rejecting parts of yourself and trying to replace them with someone else's code. It's like trying to force a puzzle piece from a different puzzle into your own. It doesn't fit and it disrupts the overall picture. This is why you might find it hard to stick to New Year's resolutions or struggle with making lasting change in your life. Not because you're not capable, but because your desire for change is actually coming from a place of rejection and self-hatred. You can't reach the perfect you if you hate the present you. I'm not trying to make excuses. Maybe you're not working hard enough. Maybe you're not disciplined enough. But if you approach personal development with a mindset of integration rather than replacement or rejection, you might find that changes come more naturally and long-lasting because you are no longer fighting against yourself, but rather embracing your unique, authentic code. As we mentioned, the code ingrained during early childhood profoundly influences your mindset and continues to affect many of your choices today. And it's this code that might need to be changed. The best way to do this is through reflecting on your own mind and also the minds of others. This is called mentalizing. Watch this to find out more.